Look at the three cards on screen. The viewport is the same, but each card has a different amount of room. The side cards are cramped, and the middle card has room. That is why responsive design has to understand the component, not just the page. On the left, the code still uses a page-level media query. On the right, notice the mismatch. The viewport says 1280 pixels, but the sidebar container is only about 330. The card is behaving as if it had the whole page. It should be listening to that smaller box around it. Now the highlighted line makes the card shell a query container. Watch the width badge above the card, not the browser size. When this container grows, the card switches into a wider layout. When the same container shrinks again, the card returns to the compact version, even though the page around it did not change. Here is the same behavior in markup. The first highlighted class creates the container. The second highlighted line is the container breakpoint. Follow the handle on the right as the container width changes. The card is not reacting to a global media query anymore. It changes only when its own container crosses that breakpoint. Now watch one component travel through three different places. In the narrow column on the left, it stays compact. In the wide middle panel, it opens into a horizontal layout and gives the content more room. On the right, it becomes tall again, but can still reveal extra details. The badges show the real trigger, container width. Same component, different container, different layout need. Blue is the parent column. The card starts a local grid from its own padding, so its orange text column lands somewhere else. The red bracket is that offset. Subgrid makes the card reuse the parent column. On the left, the code now says grid template columns, subgrid. On the right, watch the parent grid columns continue through the child card. The feature panel still looks like one component, but its image, text, and button are no longer guessing their own columns. As the blue lines pass through the card, those internal elements reuse the outer grid and stay aligned with the page. That is the key visual. The child is nested, but the columns are shared. This pattern combines both ideas. The large grid in the background gives the component shared columns through subgrid. Then, inside the component, the available width changes. Watch the panel resize. Container queries decide when it becomes compact, when it becomes wide, and when extra details appear. Subgrid handles external alignment. Container queries handle the internal behavior. This masonry preview is just a teaser. The staggered cards show the direction, grid layouts that pack uneven content more tightly. Treat it as experimental for now and plan a fallback. The three labels summarize what happened on screen. Media queries shaped the page-level layout. Container queries made each component respond to the space it actually received. Subgrid kept nested content aligned to the shared system instead of drifting into private grids. Together, they make layouts respond to real context, not just screen width. That is the shift modern CSS gives us. Layout decisions move closer to the component and the system around it.